After this song, we'll have Scott Ruddick coming up to do the Bible reading.
You have answered correctly, Jesus replied. Do this and you will live. But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbour? In reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he fell into hands of robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he travelled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, took him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 silver coins and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbour to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise.
Dear Lord, we just thank you for today. Thank you for the great weather we've been having. We just pray now as I just speak your words, Lord, about Neighbours. It's been a very interesting talk for me. I just want to commit this time to you and pray that everyone can have their ears, their minds open to hear what you've got to say. Bear with me if I cry. Breaking bread, I cry. It's God being emotional through me. So if you want to cry, go ahead, cry with me. It doesn't bother me. Today we're talking on Neighbours. I had a choice of a few, and Neighbours is one that stood out to me like, Neighbours. Person you sort of mow your lawn, the guy up the road, you say hello, the old man comes down and whinges in your ear, you're doing things wrong, and Neighbours, okay, that's I thought that'd be an easy subject to talk about, Neighbours. Just what I thought was Neighbours about in the garden, and I just thought, well, if anyone remember watching Tim the Toolman Taylor, him and Wilson, and Tim would be there and he'd doing his contractions, awesome contractions that he'd make, like, I love to do stuff like that. And Wilson would be going, howdy ho neighbour, and you'd hear Tim would talk, and all you'd see was his hat, or his head. You wouldn't see his face, the big high fences, and you just see with me, and Tim would be talking to Wilson about anything. Tim would whinge about his wife or whinge about things that are going on, and Wilson would give him advice, and he'd go back and do the opposite of what Wilson would say. Then his wife would go out and she'd convey back to Wilson. It was a neighbour. It was like a friendship of neighbourship of talking over the fence. And I thought, well, that's what I thought neighbours would be. It's just talking person over on one side of the fence to the other. And going through here, it's neighbours is that, but actually in Luke that Scott read out, it's actually more than just over the fence. Neighbours is everybody, friends, family, anyone. I thought, phew, neighbour, everyone, like, wow, okay, it's a bit more in depth than what I thought. I thought, man, I shouldn't have chose this one now. It's a bit more in depth than what it is, but it's been very good. And I won't do that, it's good, but what I'd like you to do, first off, while Dad's doing that, is just turn to someone next to you, just say hello to them, and just let them know how your day was, just quickly. Yeah, if you talk to your people next door, you just speak to them, you find how they're going today, and we just presume as neighbours there's people there, but people in the street, you walk past, you feel the street, they're your neighbours. They're the people who you talk to, and sometimes you sort of walk to avoid them, you don't want to speak to them, people you don't want to get along with. And just want to explain is what is a neighbour and what actually the Bible says about neighbours. And in Proverbs chapter 11 verse 12, it says, a man who lacks judgment derides his neighbour. And it is so easy to read verses and go, yep, I understand that, but without actually knowing what the words mean, it's totally different and it opens up a different emphasis on what the verse means. And it says, a man who lacks judgment derides his neighbour. Derides has a few meanings. Belittle, hurt, to invite strife, and to help no one. And do you know, to belittle someone is to actually to insult God? And as Christians, we shouldn't insult God. And to belittle someone else is God's creation. We're belittling Him. I didn't see that. I thought, here I'm making jokes with people, putting them down as a joke. I'm joking. We're actually insulting God. And that's something that we shouldn't be doing. And I looked and I thought, well, what does Jesus say about treating us and treating others? What does Jesus really say? And in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 to 39, if you want to open it, we have it on the screen, so if you'd like to open it, and I'll read with you as well. Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 to 39. It says here, Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like this. Love your neighbour as yourself. Love your neighbour as yourself, like you love God. The person who's walking around beside you, out the street, love them as you love God, like you love yourself. And the conclusion to how can a Christian become a good neighbour, that's my emphasis today, is how can a Christian become a good neighbour? The first conclusion is, a Christian treats his neighbour the same way he treats God. It's very powerful to me. I've had neighbours up the street that I whinge about. Stupid old man, what's he doing? Coming out and whinging me out, ripping out the roses, and he whinging I'm not working, and my wife doing, things I'd love to do to him. He couldn't be for the stuff I would love to do to this guy. But this has taught me so much about loving your neighbours. Not just your friends, not just your family, your neighbours, everyone around you. Treat them as you would want to treat God. The second one I'm looking at is a Christian acts for the benefit of his neighbours. In Proverbs chapter 14, verse 20, I want to turn to that as well if you'd like to. Okay, Proverbs verse 20. The poor are shunned even by their neighbours, but the rich have many friends. The verse does go on. It seems, here I'm talking about saying, love your neighbours. Treat them as you would treat God. The poor are shunned even by their neighbours. But then it goes on. In Proverbs verse 21, he who despises his neighbour sins, despises, puts down, does not like, turns away. But blessed is he who is kind to the needy, to people who are needing something. Not just money, spiritual upbringing, spiritual growth. Money's not everything. And people, the one who has rich many friends, he may have a lot of friends, but he doesn't know who his true friends are. They're only there for what they want to get out of it, not what they can get from him, what they can help him grow, only for what they want to get out of the money situation. Is that right, then? We'll try and give it a go. Okay. Okay, the Christian acts for the benefit of his neighbours. We've gone through that. The poor are shunned even by their neighbours, but the rich have many friends. Verse 14 and 20. Verse 14 and 21. He who despises his neighbour sins, but is blessed who is kind to the needy. Just thinking of the one who's kind to the needy, these two verses connect together. And it says in here, there's a verse that there was actually a paragraph that the guy wrote, and he said, I'll just read it here because I can't keep looking up and down. It says, he should never forget that the Lord Jesus came into the world as a poor man. He was never rich. He was a poor man. Someone referred to him as my penniless friend from Nazareth. And we have so much respect for God. He was the poorest man. And we should do that for people who are poor and needy as well. Have respect for them the way we have respect for God. And that's why how a Christian can be a good neighbour is act for the benefit of his neighbours, not for personal gain, but for a gain for them to help them grow. How can a Christian be a good neighbour? A Christian acts in a moral and honest way to his neighbour. In Proverbs chapter 24, verse 28 to 29, do not testify against your neighbour without cause, or use your lips to deceive. Do not say, I'll do to him as he's done to me, or I'll pay that man back for what he did. It's justice. Do not falsely accuse your neighbour of things that he has not done. As Alan spoke about a couple of weeks ago, using your tongue and lips is evil. Do not lie. Do not say things to your neighbour that's not true, or say things that's not true about him. Do not do those things. Do not say to him, he has done to me, or I'll pay back to him what he's done to me. Do not return evil for evil. Do not bring what he's already done back up against him. Forgive him what he's done. Go on. God has forgiven us what we've done. Don't bring it back to him. Proverbs 26, verse 18 and 19. This is the one that really got me. I'm always been a person that says, I'd say, Jacob, am I joking? You say to a person, oh, man, you look fat today. As a joke. Oh, but I was only joking. I was only joking. My wife said to me, there's always truth in a joke. But there is. No matter what joke you say to somebody, there's always truth in it. Truth hurts. And when you were saying I was only joking, I never expect that to be in the Bible. And here I am doing opposite what the Bible says. And we were at our class this morning, and Dad said that he finds people hard that they do things that says the Bible do not do, and they do it. He finds a struggle. This is a big struggle for me. Like a man shooting firebrands or deadly arrows is a man who deceives his neighbour and says, I was only joking. When you say I was only joking, it is like a man shooting firebrands or deadly arrows at you, and it hurts that much. It pierces you straight through. There's always truth behind joking. Always truth. Very quick, we've gone quicker than what I expected. But how can a Christian be a good neighbour? The 3 points I want to bring up is the 3 we went through. A Christian treats his neighbour the same way he treats God. The same way. A Christian acts for the benefit of his neighbour, not for personal gain, but what we can get for them, what we can help them with. Bring them up in a spiritual way, help them out with financial ways, anything. What we can do for them. Third, a Christian acts in a moral and honest way to his neighbour, without lying, without saying false accusations, without saying something one night you heard the police there and the ambulance and stuff, and then you think, oh, he's done this, and actually make up lies until the neighbour, oh, did you hear who did this and did that, and false accusation. That's not what you should be doing. Because the truth is what you're meant to be saying. The end of the story. So, one thing I want to leave with you is when Scott read about the Good Samaritan, about the three guys that two of them walked past and left the guy, the robber, on the road, walked straight past him, turned the blind eye, kept walking. The Good Samaritan helped him up, took him to the place, paid for him, and said, when I come back, I'll pay the rest of my way to him. Remember the Good Samaritan story. Just want to leave you this one thing. Which one of the travellers would you be? Which one would you be? I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Alright, so this is what it's like being on this side of it. Okay, basically there was a few topics to pick from. I pretty much, since I've been just married a year and a half now, I've probably said I better pick on husbands and wives because I figured that I've got just about a minuscule bit of experience now in it. Basically, when I was reading through Proverbs, I realised there's like 31 chapters of Proverbs in there, and basically all 30 and a half actually talk about a virtuous man or the virtuous husband, and like all about men. And there's about half a chapter that actually just talks about women. So I think it's probably because men need that little bit more instruction. But anyway, okay. Firstly, I'm going to talk about men and how to be the ideal husband, and women how to be the ideal wife. Pretty much, and basically with wisdom we can grow in the Lord together. Okay, basically, first thing I wanted to bring up, we'll start on the men because the women will probably take longer to get through. Okay, basically, I just want to illustrate some examples of being a good spouse. The importance of this subject is pretty crucial. To be happy in the Lord and to be happy in life is greatly affected by how successful we are in our marriage and our relationships. Even our usefulness to the Lord is affected by our relationships. Husbands have to honour their wives. For example, husbands' prayers can be hindered by the way we treat our wives. As we can see in 1 Peter 3:7, husbands likewise dwell with them, understanding, giving honour to their wife as the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together to the grace of life, that the prayers may be not hindered. Basically, what it's saying is that not being the weaker vessel that they're not as smart or as clever or things like that. It's actually just pretty much being that they're not as physically strong as well, and basically, women are very smart and actually very clever in a lot of things. So the other day I was talking to a friend of mine, and what he said was he helps his wife out all the time doing things around the house, this and that, and basically she asked him to help wash the dishes, and he said, "What? I do all this other stuff, that's not a man's job." And basically she came back with this verse, 2 Kings 21:13. "And I will stretch over Jerusalem the line of Samaria and plummet of the house of Ahab. And I will wipe Jerusalem as a man wipeth a dish, wiping it and turning it upside down." So women can be very clever at times. Basically, I just wanted to go over some things as well of some thoughts taken from Proverbs here. First thing is give opportunity. This is for a husband. They should give opportunity to their wife. In Proverbs 31:31, give her the fruit of your hand, give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise raise her in the gate. Basically, what that is allow your wife to have an opportunity to develop her own abilities and to do things. Because sometimes as a man, I know myself, I like to do everything for myself and just sort of not let my wife do anything because, I don't know, it's just, must be the way I am, my genetic makeup. But, sometimes it can be overwhelming and like God's provided us with this partner in life that you can actually rely on and allow to do other things. Let her reap the benefits of her own labours. She pretty much, a lot of women out there these days, they work, they do things and this and that, and they don't want their husband sort of saying, oh, you can't spend this money, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. So let her reap the benefits of her labours. Don't treat her as a simple person because she's very complex and very knowledgeable, and you should be as equal with your wife. So a lot of the traps that men fall in is that they actually think that they're a lot better than women, and that sort of pretty much then throws us out saying that like we get into like sort of we think that we're the boss or in charge, but God actually took the rib from Adam's side so that we can actually care for our wives and nurture our wives. He didn't take her from our foot so that she's under us, and he didn't make Eve from our head so it's above us. So she's above us. Second thing that I was going to say is we've got to give praise to our wife. Proverbs 31, 28b to 29. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. So God wants us to give praise to our wife. I know when I see Sonia, I promised her I wouldn't use her much as an example, but this is the only wife I've got. I know sometimes, just looking at her, when she's done something, and I say, oh, thanks babe, oh, that's great, this and that. I see the look in her eye that she's like, she really enjoys those praises, and I think God wants us to build each other up and give praises to Him. Next verse, give trust, because that's very important. Proverbs 31:11. The heart of the husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. Pretty much what that shows is if we demonstrate a willingness to trust her in like areas of her intelligence, her faithfulness, and all her abilities, like we planted a garden just not long ago in our backyard, and it's sort of been going, but I've been flat out with work, so I haven't really had time to look at it. But the thing is, it's been growing, and I know it's not just growing on its own. I know Sonia goes home every day and she waters it and things like that. So we've got to trust her in doing different things. And it's very important as well for us not to be jealous or suspicious of our wives, because they do love us and honour us and respect us. And sometimes you give them that freedom because it's not good to be jealous on those things, because you should have faith in your wife. Next I want to just mention is give love. Be content with your wife's love. It pretty much saves you and your family from harm. Basically what it is some people, they're always out there looking for something different. It's like, okay, now that I'm married, men see things as goal orientated. Oh, look, now that I've done this, I can move on and do something else. Now that I've accomplished this, we can move on to something else. But with a husband and wife, we shouldn't be, as a husband, we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be saying, okay, now that we've reached this task, but we should be continuing growing together in the Lord through different things. Alright, well, that's a fair bit about husbands, so I'll give them a rest. We'll start on some stuff about women. Can we have the reading now?
Yep. If you
If you turn to Proverbs chapter 31, we're going to read from verse 10 to 31. I'm going to read from my Bible because I find it hard to read, I think. It's old age. Okay. Proverbs 31, verse 10. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing to value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it, and out of her earnings she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously, and her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate.
Okay, basically this is just telling us about a virtuous wife. I mean, there's a lot of things that people can't do and can do. I bet everyone's different pretty much in that sense. But basically I just wanted to bring out some things that we can maybe use as guidelines to help us achieve things like that. So don't think that I'm picking on anyone. Okay, basically when I was looking for a wife at first, I was sort of I didn't go through all these things and have a checklist and say she has to be this or she has to be that and she has to be that. The first few things that I actually looked for was, well, the first on the checklist was she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't swear, she doesn't take those general things first, and then I started getting into the other stuff through it. But basically the first thing that is very important is trustworthiness and dependableness. And basically the Bible brings out Proverbs 31:11. The heart of the husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack or gain. Basically the husband can entrust her with income, can entrust her with responsibilities, because she's not going to just squander it and take all the money and go buy a dress for $1,000 if you only got to make a mortgage repayment next week and things like that. Really, men normally, if they have $2, they'll see something and bargain home and probably buy it for $2, even if it's worth 50 cents. But women, if they see a dress or something that's worth $1, they'll say, oh, I better buy one just as a backup and spare, and they'll buy a pair of shoes with the $2 as well. So they get, men and women are different ways it comes to money. We'll just spend anything if we want it, but women just spend it because they can. Let's see. Next is filled with an enduring love. Basically, a woman, she does him good, not evil, all the days of her life. So, devoted to doing her husband good throughout her life. That's just as she vowed in that at the wedding when we first got married. They vowed to do good. Next is they have developed practical skills, wives. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is not afraid of snow. Her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself, and clothing is fine and linen and purple. So basically what that is women, they can do different things, such as sewing, cooking, industrious. It shows that women have the ability to do a lot of things. In Proverbs 31, 16 to 19 and 24, it shows how even women can be very business-minded in regards to she's buying property, and from her labours, she on the land she plants a vineyard, and from the profits she sells the merchandise. Compassionate. Women are very compassionate, and they also have developing character. Strength and honour are clothing. Basically, with this sort of, she cares not only for her family, but the less fortunate as well. I know that sometimes where I wouldn't give things a second thought, I see wives, they're all women in general, they're extremely compassionate into the needs of others and things like that, whereas sometimes men, we don't often have that same compassion. It's something that they've got. Speaks wisdom and kindness. Basically, with this, I'll just read in Ephesians, let no corrupt word proceed out of the mouth, but what is good for necessary edification, that it may impart grace to the hearers. So basically, sometimes women have the ability to speak wisdom and kindness that we can understand, that doesn't come portrayed across as being harshness, and they attend to the needs of the family. So really, when I haven't reached this stage yet, as I've no kids, but I know Sonia, she wakes up early and she makes my breakfast, she's got my clothes ironed for work the next day, she's up doing all these things pretty much without me even knowing. I just wake up in the morning and see it all done. So I don't sometimes realise some of the things that she's done. Fears the Lord is very important. Basically, it's very important to have fearing the Lord, because pretty much without fearing the Lord, there's no the importance of using wisdom. Basically, in Proverbs 11:29, it says, "He who troubles his own house will inherit the wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise." So, briefly, just some of the things that we need to use God's wisdom in these things. I mean, some of the things that I mentioned, maybe not all of us can do or can attain that level, but we have to just try and strive to reach that level. Like, I mean, there's probably a lot of things that were mentioned that couldn't be done, because not everyone has that same makeup type of thing. Basically, we need wisdom in building a healthy family relationship as we can see in 11:29 in Proverbs there. Also, so much of the joy and meaning of life that God would have us enjoy is lost if there is not a good family life. As Solomon wrote in Ecclesiastes, live joyfully with a wife whom you love all the days of your vain life, which has given you under the sun all of your days of vanity, for that it is a proportion of life, and in the labour which you perform under the sun. But as important as physical families may be, and the most important thing in life is to be a member, pretty much, of God's family. For He can easily fill the gaps that we don't fill. So all those things, they're often not attainable. But if we're part of God's family, you can always turn to Him, and basically He can supply us our needs and He can help us. But as long as we trust and rely on Him in certain things, but often we fall into the trap of only relying on ourselves to do things, and that can be detrimental, pretty much. That's pretty much it. So.
Okay. Just commit this time to the Lord. Dear God and Heavenly Father, we know that with our lives, that they're there to support us, and that we are to love them as they are part of us and as we are together. And as we know too, Lord, that as married people, as we have you as our third calling, that you strengthen us as we've heard today. And Lord, as we go off again today and throughout this week, as we see our neighbours, let's not forget that you love them as well, and that we should love them too. And Lord, as we just go out into our neighbourhood, does not extend just to the ones next to us. We look at our whole neighbourhood, and we pray, Lord, that as we go out into the neighbourhood, that we show love and grace to all around us. And Lord, again, we just thank you for Shane, thank you for Frank, and just thank you for your words that came through them in your gracious name. Amen.
Amen.